right, everybody, it's Craven Moorehead on KUKQ, and we have a very, very cool KUKQ house call that just fell into our lap a couple days ago. I don't think I've ever had such notable musicians in my presence ever here in KUKQ's history. So, wow, this is a very cool one. International Swingers, and sort of a punk rock supergroup. We've got members of Blondie, Clem Burke's here, Glen Matlock of the Sex Pistols, James Stevenson, Generation X. How many other bands, James? My God.
Well, some interviewer once said that I've been in 72% of all known bands. But that was a lie.
And of course, Gary Twinn singing from Supernaut. And I guess my first question for you guys, looking at all the notable bands you've been in, and how you've got members from the UK, from Australia, from the US. How does the International Swingers project come together?
Well, we have a home base in Los Angeles, actually. Glen and James spend quite a bit of time there. Gary and I live there. I also live on the East Coast a little bit, and we travel to Europe on and off, and we were just in Australia. And we are the International Swingers, and so we kind of move around the world and just try to have a good time.
Because we're pretty international.
And we swing.
And now, have you guys been friends in the past?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
How did it actually come together? Like, hey, let's get together and do some music together.
We've all been mates in different kind of... I've known Clem for 30 years, and I've known James for 30 years, but I didn't know that James knew Clem, and I've known Gary for best part of 20 or more, and we've all done little bits of work with each other, but not in this kind of unit, and it just kind of fell into our lap, really. Gary had some shows in Australia, and he invited me and Clem to do it, and I said, when you going? And he said, well, late November, December, and I looked at the weather in England, and I thought, yeah, let's go. So me and Clem were sitting on the beach in Adelaide then, so we had to get something together for that, and there was a chemistry there.
And I think I met James actually at a party at the Bay City Rollers house one time.
Yeah.
In the 80s.
Clem back in the 80s used to be at every party that I ever went to. So I thought, God, this guy, he's such a leaguer. And I thought, well, actually, I'm at all these parties as well. I must be the same.
Yeah.
From just knowing Clem here a few moments, I would never take him for that guy.
Well, music is magic, and it creates a good time.
Well, have any of you guys ever played in bands together before, or ever rocked out together before this incarnation?
Glen and I have been. We were in a band in the early '80s in London called the Hot Club that was signed to Mickey Mouse label Rack Records, and I played. Glen's got a solo band called the Philistines. I play guitar in that as well. So there's, a lot of kind of cross fertilization between us all. I don't know if.
Yeah, Clem and I played in a rockabilly band called the Honey Dippers together, and
That's
then
right.
Glen and I attempted to start a band with Rat Scabies and Durwood Andrews.
Oh yeah,
it was actually Bernie Rhodes, my old manager, that introduced me to Glen in the first place. And
what's that band called? Dead Horse.
Dead Horse. Yeah.
And actually, the last time I
was that Dead Horse or Dead Horse?
Well,
horse
yeah,
as
right.
in the animal.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, as in flogging a dead horse.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the last time I was in Phoenix, actually, I was performing with both Glen and Hugh Cornwell, with a guy called Steve Fishman and I, with a rhythm section for both Hugh Cornwell from the Stranglers and for Glen's solo project. And we did a U.S. tour. I don't know, how long ago was that, Glen?
It was about
a year ago or so?
Just over a year ago, yeah. It was like January, February last 2012.
Yeah, and we actually, Glen and I also had an attempt at a band with a geezer called Earl Slick, David Bowie's guitarist, for a while.
Now, this is the second EP, and from what I was reading on your guys' website, the information there said that you just started playing out last February. Are there plans on putting out a full length at any given time? Are you working on something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the EPs are actually just kind of demos we've done, really, with a view to making a proper album pretty soon.
I also think it's good to just kind of release stuff on the net, one at a time, and just people get more information about the band as each song comes out. To kind of just sit back and think you're going to make an album, and that's the whole package. It's not really what the music business is about today.
I did notice we sort of put some things out, and then David Bowie did the same thing. So whether he's tracking us, I don't know.
If you go to our website, this is a shameless plug, which is theinternationalswingers.com. There's like free downloads of songs, and so you can check it out.
Yeah, it's a very cool site and some cool videos too.
Thanks. Yeah, cheers.
Let's get into a song now. What's the first track you're going to play for us, and tell us a little bit about what it's about before you dive in.
Okay, it's called FBI. and
Just punch me in mind.
yeah, it's just you know, like a kind of imaginary story. It's a little bit like a Quentin Tarantino movie in a song.
All right, International Swingers on KUKQ.
I had a crazy dream about Afghanistan, rocking and rolling with the Taliban, grooving and moving under a crescent moon. I woke up back in the USA, robbed a bank, made a getaway, pack a bag, honey, we gonna move. Here comes the FBI, I'm talking about the FBI. I'm talking about the FBI, honey. I'm talking about the FBI. Lying low to preserve my health, spending all my nights and days at the well. Pump out the jukebox so I figure what I'm gonna do. Subliminal bugs in my beer, living in a state of paranoia and fear, while the men in black are plotting their next move. Hey, look out, it's the FBI. Ain't got no alibi. I'm talking about the FBI, honey. I'm talking about the FBI. It ain't the CIA. Called a drone strike today. No chance to get away. You want it by the FBI. But come on, honey, shake a hip. I got an AK-47 and an extra clip. I'm gonna dance till I die, surrounded by the FBI. Come on, James. We could make a run in a stolen car. Maybe you sing, I'll play guitar. This is our ballad, this is our story. Okay, okay, the bartender, your time. The sirens are wailing as we cross the line. We're going down in a blaze of glory, 'cause we're wanted by the FBI. They're asking you to testify. I'm wanted by the FBI, honey. I'm talking about the FBI. And in MI6, we wearing those spooky bricks, getting up to their usual tricks. I'm talking about the FBI. Come on, honey, shake a hip. I got an AK-47 and an extra clip. I'm gonna dance till I die, surrounded by the FBI. Will you be money and I'll be Clyde? I ain't giving up without a fight. We're breaking news, wanted by the FBI. We're number one, we're a hit. It's like a Tarantino movie that just won't quit. Our names will be up in lights, presented by the FBI. But now it's a chopper overhead. They ain't giving up till we're dead. Like Bonnie and Clyde, gunned down by the FBI.
Yeah, that kicked ass.
All right.
Wow.
It's kind of harder than an acoustic guitar, though.
It certainly sounded flawless. I tell you, that was really, really good.
Well, that's not good. Flawless? No, it's got to sound rough, you know.
I made a mistake, so there you go.
So did I.
So did I.
Well, no one picked up on any of it, I can tell you that. The International Swingers on KUKQ, and one question looking at this roster, being part of such...
hang on, we're a band. I've never been a roster.
Okay. Well,
I'm not coming around here and be called a roster.
Looking at the members of this band, all being, you know, such a big part of early punk rock and new wave, do you guys what I see this, you know, I see the Sex Pistols on here, I see Generation X, and I wonder, you know, what do these guys think of the current state of punk rock? Is it something where you're like, you have a sense of pride because you were so influential in shaping punk rock, or do you kind of look at it and go, ooh, what the hell is this now?
That's kind of a tricky one. I mean, it's great when people come up to you in the street and say, I really dig that, and you realise it's 35 years later and you've influenced somebody's life, but then I think, well, why blame me, mate? You know?
Well, it's interesting to see, for instance, a band like the Ramones are bigger than ever now, you know, and I think that's due to the fact of the history of the band and the history of so-called new wave and punk rock. And then I think also something like the Green Day American Idiot album, I think, is brilliant. And when they took a big chance in doing that in the George Bush era, and I know a lot of people maybe criticize them for being sort of posers, I guess the word would be, but I think they did a great job, and I think there's quite a few bands out there that were influenced by the Sex Pistols, Ramones, The Clash, etc., that are still carrying the torch. And basically, punk rock, the essence of it really is rooted in 50s rock and roll, which is kind of like the beginning of the whole deal. And when you see somebody like, you know, when Sid Vicious covered Eddie Cochran, or, you know, there's a lot of examples, or even Iggy Pop did the Real Wild Thing, which is like, who did that song, Gary, from the 50s?
Jerry Lee Lewis, right?
You know, and you know, those guys were punk rockers before really anybody knew what punk rock was.
And before them, Jacques Brel and Edith Piaf were as well.
Yeah, you know, it's a do-it-yourself attitude, and I think, you know, any band that's out there that's kind of, especially nowadays with the way the music business is, it's, as far as the internet and all, it's real easy to do things yourself, which is like a great way to go about it. And then maybe that carries on the tradition of what punk rock was about, like the DIY attitude. So I think it's all good.
I think when you guys, you know, when I think of the early or late 70s, I suppose, mid to late 70s punk rock, though, it was really more of a, like you were saying, a raw rock and roll. And,
yeah, right.
So let me do a part two of this question then. What do you think of just maybe the current state of that style of music? Not the attitude. I mean, the attitudes and the DIY ethic and all that are certainly in place, which is very cool. But musically, what do you think? Do you guys pop on the radio and ever listen to modern music, or is it just like, you know, this is...
Sure, I definitely listen to modern music, but it's hard to find things that I really like that are modern. I mean, as far as, like, what bands are you thinking of for an example of a contemporary, so to speak, modern day version of what one would call punk rock? I'm not sure.
I don't know, I mean, I quite, you know, you play with that Black Keys band, and I kind of like them, but they sound like the Pretty Things to me.
Yeah, they're a blues band.
You know, and I think everything here these days is a bit of something that's gone before.
I mean, I think Jack White is brilliant. You know, I think Noel Gallagher's brilliant. I think both of those artists are rooted in sort of the roots of rock and roll and what came before, including punk rock. So in that respect, the influence is definitely there. I mean, Liam Gallagher, you know, he's on record as saying he's trying to sing like a combination of John Lennon and Johnny Rotten. So there you go, right there. So that's two whole separate genres, so to speak, of music. One in the 60s Beatles pop music, 80s, 70s punk rock. Put those two things together, you get Liam Gallagher, you know? So the influence is there.
They were both called John, though.
They're both called John, yeah. And they were both sort of kind of uppity folks, from what I can imagine.
Uppity, yeah.
John Lennon certainly was, and all that peace and love. You know, obviously that, you know, he evolved as a human being as he grew, as we all do. So that's kind of like the essence of all of that.
And you're talking about John Lennon there.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
okay.
I don't know.
Want to get that clear.
You're talking about your main. Well, I'm sure Johnny Rotten's evolved too, or maybe he devolved.
Looking at the new EP and looking at the titles, Gun Control, Livewire, and FBI, made me wonder: is the International Swingers? Is it a politically motivated band mainly, or are there other themes that? I Am Sans the first EP, so I'm not exactly sure on that end.
Well, I don't think we're I mean, we all have political views. We didn't get together to evangelise or anything like that, you know. We came together because we're a bunch of friends that really like playing music. And
when we started writing our own songs, you know, the stuff on the EP, that's just what kind of started coming out.
Exactly, yeah. You know, you've got to write about something, not just like mindless blah.
But obviously, sitting here in the great state of Arizona, and the song "Gun Control" has some significance. You know, and I think, you know, Gary wrote the lyrics to that, and I think he was making a statement about something that I think is obviously very topical, and so we're kind of like a mirror image of that. You know, we're kind of reflecting it back, or you know, back into the media, sort of. You know,
I think most artists are products of their environment, you know, and you look for influences and things seep into you whether you know it's happening or not. It's kind of quite subliminal sometimes, so
right.
you do kind of act and react to what's going on around you. So it all depends what your underlying politics are, the way you transcribe those kind of things. But yeah, it's hard not to have some kind of political undertone to things, but whether you want to go out and rant and rave and preach and try and stuff things down people's throats is another matter.
Yeah, I mean, some of us.
I never have. You know, even though I was part of the Sex Pistols, I don't know that we were a political band. It was thrust upon our shoulders. It was more of a primal scream kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, Gun Control, you could say, is a political song, but then FBI, the song we just played acoustically, is just like a fun song, you know, about robbing a bank and running away from the FBI, you know, so it's pretty much a, you know, cross-section of everything you think and feel about.
Exactly. Gun Control, actually, you know, if you do delve into the lyrics, it's almost like a fantasy story, because it's saying that, it's not saying take away everybody's Second Amendment rights. It's just saying that if you don't do something soon, there could be a scenario where you can just go into a 7-Eleven and buy a gun, you know, and that's the story of the song, and it's saying let's not get to that point.
The International Swingers, check them out online. What's the website? It's theinternationalswingers.com.
That is it.
Yes.
And thank you guys again for popping in today.
Pleasure.
And,
Pleasure.
Please play another song for us. What's this last one we're going to do? Did you guys decide? I know there was a little bit of debate.
Okay,
in the room.
As long as we remember the arrangement, we're going to do this song, Sweet Sweet Love. So I'm going to count it in, and then there's going to be a little one-bar drum fill, and then song starts.
Sweet Sweet Love on KUKQ.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Tonight, I got a few dollars in my pocket, I'm rocking alright. Yes, I am. We can go out dancing, or we can stay at home. Whatever you want now, darling, that's where I wanna go. Say you wanna kiss me, baby. That ain't good enough. 'Cause I just wanna fill your loving cup with sweet, sweet love, 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 sweet, sweet love. Don't worry about tomorrow, it'll be too wild. The night belongs to us right here in my car. I'm feeling so strong, and it's for real. Can hardly keep my hands on this driving wheel. Say you wanna kiss me, baby. That ain't good enough. 'Cause I just wanna fill your loving cup with sweet, sweet love, 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 sweet, sweet love. Say you wanna kiss me, baby. That ain't good enough. 'Cause I just wanna fill your loving cup with sweet, sweet